and gentlemen, welcome to the FoutsCast. I am joined with none other than pro wrestler Jaxon King. Jaxon, how we doing, man?
I am good, man. Thank you for having me.
Dude, I'm glad to have you on here. What a week.
Yeah, what a week. That's really the only way you can put it.
That's exactly. I think it's best we just dive into it.
Yeah.
We know why everybody's here.
Yeah, we don't need to waste anybody's time.
This Saturday at Rugged Mania, by far one of our best events from bottom to top, in my opinion.
Without a doubt. I think it's easily in the top 3.
Oh, absolutely. It got overshadowed at the end.
Yep. We drew a lot more emotion than we might have expected to.
We did, and that's, so I'll touch on what happened, and then I want to get right. That's like the biggest thing I want to get into.
Yeah.
At the end of the night, and we have Angus Kaiser, who's been the only superstar to be on every single Rugged Mania show.
Without a doubt.
And then you have Jay Fowler, the man, all steel, defending his title against Angus, and Angus Kaiser won.
Yep. The place erupted.
I don't think, especially in Marshalltown, maybe actually, matter of fact, I don't think there's been a show we've done, even Fall City with 1,000 people, let alone the Marshalltown show with about 400. We've never had that loud of a reaction for anything.
I don't think so.
From bottom to top, from the beginning to end of that match, they were there.
Yep.
Excuse me.
Not even just that match. I can't think of a match where they weren't there.
Exactly.
I spent that whole ladder match sitting on a ladder drinking, and they hated it.
It was perfect. But and then Angus gets his moment. He steals the show with the reception, and then this little punk Jaxon King comes down, cashes. Well, we think he's going to cash in the briefcase on Angus Kaiser. But what does he do? He hands the briefcase over to Jay Fowler.
Little did they know we had a plan all along.
Hey, man, I respect it. I think it was great. The booking on that and everything, I think was done very well. Then Fowler cashes in. Angus is no longer champ. The whole building, I am hearing slurs. I'm hearing swears.
They were pissed.
And that's the thing is, unfortunately, in the video that everybody's been seeing, you don't get to see that before that moment. Hopefully, the video should be coming up on the RUGGEDpro YouTube pages here soon. But currently, all they're seeing is this fan.
What happened? Yep.
Something that I am very. Let's say it this way. I think there was probably 30 people in that crowd that we thought would jump. Once we heard the reactions they had to Angus Kaiser losing the belt.
Well, the things that they were saying to me and Fowler, I'm honestly surprised there was only just one fan that
jumped. And we have beer being thrown.
Yep. We
have water bottles being thrown. We have trash being thrown. And then, on top of all that, this fan who'd had a little bit, let's not be too mean to him. The guy, he had a little too much to drink that night.
I mean, the alcohol there is not very expensive.
No, it's not. I mean, hey, that's for damn sure. But, he had a little bit too much to drink. He thought he was a big tough guy. He decides to hop the barricade, slide in, and it didn't end up too well for him.
Nope.
Right? Hey, anybody's a tough guy when they can, get a cheap shot in.
Exactly.
Handled situation I thought was handled very quickly. I'm sure in the moment it felt like forever.
Right.
But I think it was handled very quickly. I mean, what's a 30-second video online, right?
Yep.
So I mean, it's
over 1 million people have seen and has been featured.
So that's the thing is I'm a weirdo, right? So I didn't realize this. I figured if one video is posted on X,
right,
I thought you would think that means all those views would be accumulated.
Yep.
If you quote tweet, that resets the counter. So I went in and at least all the big ones.
Right.
I went and added them up. On Twitter alone, over 3 million views. That's insanity.
And that's just on one platform.
That's on one platform. This is the first. And I'm not trying to glorify this situation either because it's not good. You know what I mean? Don't jump the barricade.
No, it's never okay. Do not jump the barricade.
But the show, we'll say the show as a whole.
Right.
I'm sure somebody on Twitter is gonna. Well, it's just because of this. But we're gonna say the whole show.
Yeah,
the show, Rugged Mania, drew over 3 million views.
Yep.
Rugged Mania has now, since that situation, done the highest pre-sale on any exclusive merchandise we've ever released. Be sure to get your messed around, found out shirt right now.
Yeah. If you have not bought one of those shirts yet, be sure to buy one. Help Jay Fowler get rich.
There you go. Yeah, and help us pay for a lawyer because we're probably gonna need one. But no, so with that, I will touch on that very briefly. We'll never do this deal again, so nobody think you're gonna get famous off this. That deal with those T-shirts is the reason that guy's not in jail right now.
Pretty much.
Because I said, hey, I talked to him the next day. I said, hey, we're gonna release this T-shirt.
Yeah.
If you sign this this agreement, we won't sue you. And he agreed. So he signed, put pen to paper, and now we have mess around, found out merch.
Yes, we do.
But no, so you keep going. You go through it even more. We had WWE legends talking about it. We had independent wrestlers from all across the world talking about it. We had global news coverage.
Yep.
Talking about our event.
Exactly.
And that is something that I think is really cool.
For sure.
And I'm not gonna sit here and go, because I put on the best damn shows around, brother.
Yeah.
But no, we put on a great show. We put on a show that was able to draw emotion from fans.
Yep.
It's something that's not done very regularly anymore.
We made 400 plus people in there believe. Not a single person in there did not believe.
You're exactly right, and that is
the biggest thing that
I take a lot of pride in that.
Yeah.
And I know it's not just me; it's all the talent that is on that show that made that possible. We put on a phenomenal night of wrestling, and we walked out with some great heat.
Yep.
Again, I'm just going to say this now. For all you idiots out there thinking that this is a good idea to try, and you're like, oh, we're going to book this for our show this weekend. We're going to have a fan jump the barricade. It's not cool. It's not fun. It's a very scary thing legally. It's a very scary thing when it comes to thinking about the safety of your performers.
It puts a lot more people in danger than you think.
You're not wrong at all. And I hope that when people are thinking about this, what I want people to take away, promoters out there and the talent, is you need to have the plan for this. Because we never thought this was going to happen.
Nope.
Never in a million years did we think. Our fans our fan base is normally a very receptive, fun. They get it.
They're understanding. Yeah.
They understand. They understand we're there to entertain.
Yep.
And this group, they didn't get that.
Nope.
It was a very exciting night. Some people probably had too much to drink, so that's a conversation we've had with the bar for future cases.
Hold them to a limit.
Yeah, it's you know what I mean? So let's go back into things, right? So I think it's important that we talk about, we break this down.
Yep.
When we go back, I want to know, man, when you see, because, of course, I've never been to a wrestling show where somebody says, oh, who's the tough guy? You couldn't take me.
Right.
I want to know, in your own words, beginning to end, from the second you see this guy hop the barricade,
okay,
to me getting him out of the building. Yeah, when he's gone. I want to know what's going through your head.
Okay. So first things first, I'll say I technically instigated for the guy to come. But the one thing I will say is that I never gave the guy fighting words for him to get like that. I was doing my job as a heel to make these people hate me, and that's exactly what we were doing. Before that guy jumped, this was everything we wanted it to be. There almost hasn't really been a show that I've been on where I've had at least one fan yell at me from the crowd that they could kick my ass.
Exactly.
And every time they have yelled that, I have always instigated, we'll do something then. Because 95% of the time, you would think that these grown-ass adults realize that this is a show and we're entertaining and having fun at the end of the day.
And the thing, too, that I think a lot of people don't realize is, yes, you are a smaller wrestler. Like, there's no getting around that.
No, I'm not a big guy at all.
But the thing that they don't realize is you are a trained fighter.
Yeah.
You fight. Like when you're not doing this.
I'm 5'8" and 150 pounds, but I could easily bust a tooth out, and you could be 6'6", 250.
Exactly.
and I'm not afraid to say that on here.
That's you know that's the shoot, man. That's
how it is. That's just
how
facts.
And that's something I think a lot of people are overlooking in this situation. I'll let you keep talking. I'm sorry I interrupted.
No, you're
But
fine.
I just feel like that's important for people to know in this situation.
So then that's obviously where a lot of people there's a handful of people that do know that I do that and are also asking, then why didn't I just immediately start beating the shit out of this guy? And everyone that's seen this video is going to have their own opinion. They're going to take what they got from it. But I've seen a handful of times on a televised event, the second a fan hops the barricade, most of the time they are tackled to the ground immediately. There was about at least 5 feet, maybe even more of a distance between the barricade and the ring. And there were people around that could have stopped that guy from getting to the ring. I was just not prepared for it, and when I saw that he jumped and he was making his way up there, the first thing I saw was that my friend's back was still turned. You don't know what this guy could have on him. You know, this wasn't one of those shows where they have these scanners to see what they have on them before they let you in.
Yeah, we're not the E.
No,
we don't have
these
the big
guys,
target
like
center.
this guy could have had a blade, a knife. He could even had a pistol. And so instead of going right after him, like, why would I go after a guy when I got other people in there and their backs are turned? What if their backs are turned and I try to attack this guy? Next thing I know, what I got something stabbing me in my stomach.
Right. And the other thing I think is really important to know is, you know, my expectations on shows.
Right.
Right. You know, anybody watch that, you know that I am the promoter of RUGGEDpro Wrestling. But the thing is, when we're talking about stuff, you know, people they know very much that I've mentioned this before, the possibility, you know, because, you know, you've seen the YouTube videos of it happening elsewhere.
Yeah.
And I say guys, like, we don't need to kill the poor dude.
Right.
Just contain and get down. And what you did is very admirable, because you wanted to make sure you had him, 10 seconds, if less, to come up with a plan here.
Right.
And what you did is you thought, hey, I'm going to let this guy, I can take a punch.
Exactly.
Right? No offense, Justin Fowler is one of my best friends in the world. He's never stepped foot in a ring, inside a boxing ring So the fact that you were willing to go, hey, I'm going to take the brunt of this.
Right.
So that my friend can contain.
Yeah.
That, I thought that was genius. I thought the way you handled that, I thought was genius.
And I appreciate that. And I know I got a lot of people that are backing me up on it and saying that I did the right thing. There are a lot of people that are saying I didn't. There's a lot of people. The biggest thing that was really bothering me is the amount of people that thought that I was trying to hide behind them.
Yeah, and I think anybody with a true pair of eyes that work.
Yeah.
See that that's not the case. And we know, too, the big
If I tried to
problem-
hide, then I did a really bad fucking job.
Yeah, I mean, just a little bit.
Like,
if that's
because
what your goal was.
you can blatantly see in the motion of my arms and everything that I am grabbing him and moving him the fuck out of the way.
Exactly. And that's why I think it's funny. And I think a big part of it is you have a lot of these keyboard warriors, these wannabe tough guys that have never even stepped foot in a professional wrestling ring, let alone been in a
Kickboxing.
in a shoot fight.
Yeah.
Pro wrestling is hard. Pro wrestling, it takes a lot. There's a little bit.
I think it's more dangerous than kickboxing or MMA.
The big thing, though, here's the difference, though. We know what's supposed to happen, right? And cancel me for poking holes in the business. But the fact of the matter is you know what's supposed to be happening.
Right.
And you trust the person you're in there with.
Yep.
Some meth head hopping the guardrail is not something you were prepared for. It's not something you're prepared for. And it's... I think RUGGEDpro Wrestling, myself, we need to take a bit of the accountability on this, because there's no reason that fan should have been able to touch you.
Yeah.
So I know we are taking, as a company, we're taking a lot more action to make sure we have additional security and shows and stuff to ensure the safety of our performers and our fans. Because that's something, too, that a lot of people aren't talking about is, you don't see it on the video, but there was chaos kind of broke out after that.
There was other fans that hopped
Yeah.
over. There was some guy in an orange hoodie that squared up and was about to get in there, and then he second guessed himself because he realized it probably wasn't a good fucking idea.
So that guy, at one point, he said, "Please just let me take my friend." Like he was trying. He's like, "Please just let me get him."
Yeah.
Like get him out of here. But then that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. That's where things go wrong. Because then a third guy jumps thinking he's there to help, and he starts instigating this thing with their sweatshirt dude.
Yep.
And then now they're riled up, right? And then, now the fan over here is riled up.
Yeah.
Now poor Justin Bundy's in a headlock because he's getting
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
it's a very unfortunate situation.
And there was a lot of little kids in the front row, too.
There were. And I hope people can take and appreciate, for those of you who don't know who I am, other than me just saying on the promoter and stuff, I'm the gentleman who's there to grab him and get him out of the ring. So, I hope people can realize, like, hey, we got on it as soon as we could.
Right. Was that other guy that helped you drag him out a fan? Or was
the
that
white shirt guy? That was a fan.
Oh, my God.
And that's the thing is, so then here's, then the next thing I get is, I've heard a couple people, why didn't the locker room spill out? Because that's what we need is a fucking riot.
Exactly. Yeah. Let's have everybody come out there and let's potentially break stuff at the venue and potentially not be welcome back. So this is already a dangerous situation.
Exactly.
Enough.
And I'm zero. I'm a tunnel vision on this guy. Get him out. I get him out. The funniest part about the whole thing is I get him outside. I'm like, man, I bet you feel stupid, brother.
Yeah.
And he goes, dude, they were getting my friend. I said, dude, you realize this is a show, right? And just his whole world shattered. And he's like, what? I feel so stupid. I said, here's how this is going to go. I said, if you go home right now, no charges will be pressed.
Right.
We can talk about this tomorrow. If you go home right now, I'll do what I, you know what I mean? I got to talk to the guys because you assaulted 2 people.
Right.
So I need to talk to them and make sure they don't want to. But I'm telling you from my end, if you leave without incident right now, he had people with. This isn't like it was just I walked outside with the guy and he was by himself, and he had his group with him. They promised to get him home. They all left. It worked out fine. Right. Then I turn around and see a gaggle of like 150 people. I never realized I had a whole army behind me.
Oh yeah.
But it was 150 people ready to fight.
Yep. No, like you can see at the end of the video as you guys are dragging him out, the amount of like not just fans but work, and that just shows like how the locker room's always looking out for each other, because it was, from what I could see, it was just you that was dragging that guy out. Everyone else following you was fans. So the amount of workers that I saw hustling to get out there by you to help
which I appreciate.
Is great.
But then again, it became a thing of like somebody's like one of my buddies from school is coming up to make sure I'm okay.
Yep.
And a worker's grabbing him, thinking he's coming to attack.
That's
something, like I said, we do events, and like our TAMA events with EWA stuff. There's always security there.
I even had a situation happen with a fan at TAMA.
Yeah, that was different. That was like an after the show, like park. Like that wasn't like we didn't have like fears during the show.
Right. Just goes to show that almost everywhere I'm at, I got fans wanting to fight me.
Yeah, so maybe you are the problem. Way to spill the beans on that one. But no, so I think the difference though is like that fan knew that fan was just being tough.
Yeah.
And he wasn't going to jump the barricade. I think at one point he got moved because he fell over a barricade. He was so drunk.
When that guy, at the guy at the TAMA show, when he was heckling me during my match, fine. That's what I want. But when I was, when I started to get a problem was when I was sitting there with friends of mine watching the rest of the show, and in the back of the audience by merch. Right. He came and sat by me on 3 different occasions and started calling me a pussy, and I told him multiple times to walk away. And then as I'm leaving, this dude's outside waiting for me, and I knew what wrestler he was there supporting. I'm not going to name drop, but I just told that guy, hey, this guy has a few minutes to get to his car and go. He's obviously drunk, but I'm getting sick of this.
Well, those don't sound like the words of a coward that would hide and run away from it. Right. His best friend handles the fight.
Yeah.
But no, so the big thing that it's like I go to shows all the time, and there's always a tough guy.
Yeah.
Right. Back in the 80s, if you got enough heat, your tires would be slashed when you got outside. Yep. That's how you knew you did a good job.
The Bridge City Slam last year, there was people walking around FanFest asking Fowler and other wrestlers where my car was at. because they wanted to meet me in the parking lot to fight. When literally all I did was my typical heel. You people are stupid, and so is this town.
Well, again, and that's the thing that I think a lot of people don't. They see, and I know you don't like being called the smaller guy,
Right?
but like I know it kind of gets to you. But like that's what it's like, oh, that's the small kid. I can pick on him.
They think they could take me,
and then they fuck around and find out.
Exactly.
So that's you know what I mean. That's what we wanted to put on the T-shirt, but we obviously couldn't for with Rugged Pro being a
family friendly
promotion. Wow. So let's fast forward to after the show. I remember we're all just okay, man. Like, yeah, we never want that to happen again, but that's how you get heat, man.
Yeah.
We got
no,
heat.
It was like in the heat of the moment, I was pissed. I mean, I feel like I have every right to be.
Absolutely.
And then another people were also trying to say, oh, this guy gets handled by a fan and then takes cheap kicks at him as he's getting held on the ground. If that motherfucker can take cheap shots at the back of my head, why shouldn't I feel the right to give him some cheap kicks right back?
Yeah, and I think it's you go and you watch so of course after that I went down the rabbit hole of fan jumping barricade videos.
Yeah.
And you see Jericho. There's 5 security guards holding the guy down. He's He's got attacked.
Right.
He deserves to get a
couple shots. Yeah, you deserve to get some shots in.
I think every one of those videos I saw. Could you classify it as a cheap shot? But I think it's returning the favor.
Exactly.
It's called a receipt.
Boom.
Man, so I know that after that night, once things calm down, we're laughing about it.
Yep.
Holy shit, I could have been a lot worse. And that's, again, I'm going to say this repeatedly through this episode. We never want that to happen again.
No.
And we're putting measures in place to ensure it doesn't happen again. But we didn't know where this was. We thought, okay, the night's over. Let's go to sleep, and we're going to be okay.
That was the exact opposite.
I wake up to Maggie saying, yo, holy shit, 20K on Twitter. I'm like, whoa, 20K, that's awesome. Right? We're excited.
Just as time goes by, it's just slowly getting up to 6 figs.
Yeah,
and then eventually it's up to 7. And then it's 6 figs
so first it's cool.
Everywhere.
Right. So first, we get to the 100,000s mark, and then you start seeing some of the independent talent, some people that we respect on the independents sharing it and talking about it.
Right.
At this point, we're still going. Then we're hitting, holy shit, we're close to 1 million. In 24 hours, we're almost at 1 million across the platforms.
And the next thing you know, we're on fucking Barstool Sports.
On Barstool Sports,
one of the most talked about sports articles.
Yeah, that's the thing is, we're on there. We have,
and they actually gave me props for turning them around.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
then we have, Brian Hebner. He spoke his thoughts on it. Professional wrestling referee Bully Ray spoke his thoughts on it. Cultaholic picked us up, and so this is something that I'm not saying this to stroke my own dick, but I think it's really cool because my buddy said it to me, and I thought it took me a moment, and I was like, holy shit. On WrestleMania week, the first day of WrestleMania week, the biggest week in professional wrestling all year long, Rugged Pro Wrestling is the headline of one of the biggest YouTube news wrestling channels in the world.
Right.
In the UK, they're talking about us.
Oh, yeah, this isn't just in the US. This is not just in the US. This became a worldwide known situation.
Day 1 of WrestleMania week.
Yeah.
Mind you.
Right.
I think other things going on around this time is Vince McMahon posting the love letters or whatever. He shared the love letters from the Janelle Grant case. It's WrestleMania week. Rock just beat up Cody Rhodes.
And they just Brooklyn or whatever. Brooklyn just set that record for largest gateway line. And while that's going on, we were still trending worldwide for what happened.
Exactly. And again, number 1 on that video. The first thing mentioned. It was us, and then it was something about CM Punk.
Right.
That's kind of cool. Again,
don't hop the fucking barricade.
Yeah, don't hop the fucking barricade. Promoters don't think this is going to be a cool way to get some quick stuff. We got lucky. So something else that I think is really important to talk about, in the sense of how we got lucky, is the same night at New Wrestling Revolution or something like that, I think in Illinois.
Yeah.
They have a situation
Yep.
where an idiot promoter doesn't tell one of the talent about that he's going to be getting jumped by this guy he doesn't know.
So the talent thought it was real and went to go save him.
So he was part of the guy was involved in the match.
Yeah.
But the promoter apparently told him, hey, go pull the manager out of the ring and beat him up a little bit. Caused a riot. Kids were trampled. Like, everything that I didn't want to happen at Rugged Mania
happened at that show.
Police were called. The whole 9 yard, the building, from what I was, from a couple of my buddies that were there, they said that the building is forbidding wrestling from ever being there again. Not a good night.
Nope.
I think last I looked, that video was at maybe 6,000 views. Like, probably the most that place is ever going to get.
Right.
But also, like, this isn't a get rich quick scheme.
Like, I really want people to know that if you think that, like, if you think that we're proud that this happened, don't. But it would be foolish of us to not use it to get eyes.
And that's you're exactly right, and that's how I want to phrase it is we're simply capitalizing and making the most out of the bad situation.
Like, there's always a good to everything, I feel like. And this was one of those situations where there really isn't a lot of good because we had people that did get assaulted and there was a lot of chaos that should not have happened. But really the only good thing that we can get out of this is to just help, talk about. We're also talking about the safety that we're going to figure out.
Exactly.
And we're also just...
We're taking the proper... it was a learning experience for us.
Right.
We're making sure we do the right thing down the line. But we're also not stupid to go, oh shit, we got something here.
Yeah.
Shit. Angus Kaiser, again, he's been with me since... He's the first student that ever...
He's the day one guy, and the way, like, even though we're doing this feud thing right now, I know this might be behind the curtain, what you call it, but it's cool to see how far that guy's come since I first met him.
Yeah, and it's Angus. So Angus, the thing here is,
I was very proud of him.
I know here now, you and I are sitting here talking, and we're being nice about it. But the thing is everybody wants that top spot. I know that bothers you.
Yeah.
That you know what I mean?
Well, I don't think there's a single person in the locker room that isn't going to be bothered by it.
Exactly.
If you're not at that top spot, then you should be somewhat irritated. You could be happy, still be happy for them. Absolutely.
Angus is somebody who I believed in since day one.
And a lot of people didn't.
Right, and that's
what makes it even better.
A lot of people, and to the point where, I'm not going to say where they're from, like where their quote unquote tribe is. I'm not going to say anything like that. I'm not going to say their name. But a lot of people that were working for me regularly that stopped working for me because they were mad about Angus getting all these opportunities. And they didn't want. I'm not going to support that. I'm not going to.
Mm-hmm.
Well, guess what? Look who's on top of the fucking mountain right now.
Right. Dude just made 400 plus people believe in him.
Yeah.
That's something that a lot of wrestlers that have been doing it way longer than him still can't figure out how to get.
That's exactly right. It's really cool that we have. I don't know where this is going to go from here. I don't know what the next step is, but we got something here. We got lightning in a bottle, and we got to find a way to harness it and keep it there.
Yeah.
I think the next thing we're going to get into, and I know you're not ecstatic about me wanting to get into this stuff. We talked about it briefly. I'm not looking for a fight here, but I want to know, okay, hey, somebody who you and I have sat down in this very building and talked about at lengths.
Yeah.
As somebody we want to bring in. When you and Zay were tagging, we were trying to make it happen for you guys to have a tag match with them.
Right.
Bubba Ray Dudley
Yep.
decides to chirp in on this.
Yeah.
And he didn't have too kind of things to say.
No.
He
didn't.
About the situation. I'm going to be the piece of shit that makes you relive it by reading it to you.
I remember it.
And I'm sure it is, because it's somebody who I know you respect. Somebody that you have openly told me repeatedly you wanted to work with. Somebody who you have repeatedly told me you want to be around. but I'm going to read it for the people that don't know. Bully Ray,
Yeah.
and hopefully, if I remember right, I'm going to put a little. I'll bust it up on the screen too. Bully Ray says, first off, the child in the blue tights playing pro wrestler should never be allowed to lace a pair of boots again. He ran when the fan slid in the ring, then talked shit while the other guy choked him out. Then took some cheap kicks at the guy. Fucking fraud. Before you say anything, one thing that he deserves all the credit in the world on is he understands what fucking blue is. Because, like,
A lot of people thought I was wearing green
almost,
tights.
that's what makes everybody invalid with
Right.
their critiques on you.
Yeah.
Is they're shitting on you, but they don't know the difference between fucking blue and fucking green.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I'm sorry. I know that really was annoying the shit out of me. Every time I sent you somebody said something bad, I always had to point out how they didn't understand the difference between blue and fucking green. Those are very blue types.
Yeah.
Okay. Bully Ray says this.
Yep.
What are your thoughts when you get that screenshot sent to you? Because I know you don't have Twitter anymore.
Right. No, I got rid of Twitter like years ago just because of, not even because of anybody particular, just because I couldn't scroll without seeing every other post. It was just something toxic about trying to ruin stuff other people got going for them. And I'm like, why should I enter myself into this shit? But no, not long after he tweeted it, my phone started blowing up bad.
Mm-hmm.
It stung. I'm not gonna lie. That's his opinion. I can't change that. I'm not gonna try to turn this into, hey, come fight me, because that's not how you do business with people.
Right.
But I'm not gonna change how I feel about it. I still think that I did the right thing.
I agree.
If that's his opinion, then that's his opinion. There isn't really anything I can truly say about it, but that's just kind of
in his response. You know, a lot of people are saying, "Hey, Bully, you're not right on this." Blah 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 blah.
right.
Then we get a Matthew Wayne. I can't believe I just gave him any clout for even mentioning his name.
Yeah, I don't even know who the hell is that.
He says he's a pro wrestler. He said he's a pro wrestler, but he looks like he bags my groceries.
Okay, maybe that's his gimmick.
Like at Bully Ray 5150 said, the guy in the blue pants should never wrestle again. The fan is in the wrong, but that guy in the blue made the wrestlers look like they can't fight for real. Rugged Pro Wrestling responds, I will pay you $500 to fight blue pants. And we ain't talking about
A
Leva
wrestling
Bates.
match.
Yeah, we ain't talking about Leva Bates. We're talking like I would love to see you legitimately fight Jaxon King, because Jaxon King will knock your fucking teeth out.
Yeah.
And then, you know, of course, we had a lot of our friends, Manning, Jameson, Maggie, and so on and so forth, saying, "Oh, I'll double it. Oh, I'll triple it.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll quadruple it."
Right.
And then Bully Ray, finally, there's enough attention on it. So
Yep.
I know you're being nice. I'll be nice too. Okay, I won't say anything, except that he needs a reason to be relevant. He gets on there and says, I'll pay you $5,000 to fire him so he can't pollute my business any longer and put other wrestlers in danger because he's a coward. Get your head out of your ass and try to learn from this. Good luck with your promotion. Saying that to me. Well, me being the carny fuck I am, I send you what he says and I tell you. And then I respond with, sorry, Jaxon, deal, handshake emoji. Does PayPal work? Ours is at Rugged Pro. Hasn't sent it yet. I'm still waiting on that, Bully. Give me a reason to get rid of this kid. Damn heat magnet you are. Which, of course, then spun off to, I was surprised. It's something that really did surprise me. There's some people that actually talked to me about it, and we cleared the air. There's some that never mentioned anything, and I'm sure they're still thinking it. This is probably the 4th or 5th time now where I've became the asshole of the Midwest because people think I'm legit mad at you or like disrespecting you.
Yeah.
It's funny because I don't think people realize you're my top 5, man.
Yeah, like
we talk
almost every day. We see each other almost once a week,
at least.
Yeah.
So I think it's funny that people have this notion
that
you and I are enemies or something.
It goes to show with just people they're gonna get their conclusion, and then they're not gonna let go because they have to be right.
Right.
Their
I think
opinion has to be right, nobody else's, and
you're right.
it's
And
stupid.
It's funny to think that, oh yeah, hey, you and I have this death vendetta against each other, but I book
Yeah.
you on almost every show. You know, any
Right.
show you're not on is because you're already somewhere else.
Yeah,
You know, for whatever we're doing.
right.
So I think it's kind of funny that that's where we're at
Yeah,
in the wrestling world today.
Yeah.
Is these two must hate each other, and I think I got called a racist during one of those exchanges, which is kind of funny. Thinking like, I don't think that word applies, and
yeah.
the conversation
what's he?
had something to do because I mean, we won't get into because the person that posted that did misunderstand a situation. I'm not going to say their name because I respect the guy, and he realized where he went wrong.
Yeah,
We talked about it in private. He deleted his thread.
right.
We're cool.
Yeah,
But damn, man, I just going through this. I think it's crazy. I think it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. It's fortunate. It's good. It's bad. It's beautiful. It's ugly. It's black. It's white. It's you name it. It's it. Like there's no way you could twist or turn this. It's a situation that goes beyond words. Man, I think that we pretty much touched on everything involving the situation that we can really touch on.
Yeah,
I'm glad that we can get your perspective on this. You know, I think everybody. Justin doesn't shut up, so we already know he's tweeted a million times about this situation. I asked him. I brought up the idea of him being on the podcast, and he was all about it. Then the more I thought about it, I was like, God damn it, I can't get this guy's ego any bigger. We love you, Justin. Man, I think, like I said, I think some final thoughts on this are simply, holy shit.
Yeah.
That was awesome. I never want it to happen again. I'm excited to see where the story goes.
Yeah.
With you, Fowler, and Angus, and nobody expected it. I knew that Angus was going to get that's why he was in the match.
Yep.
I knew he was going to get the best react. It was going to be the best person to face Justin that night was Angus. The booking to have you cash in and the way we had you cash in, I thought, again, it's going to get a great reaction because people love Angus.
Right.
Anyone who tries to say they knew exactly how much attention I was going to get is a goddamn liar.
Yep.
But I am proud to say that cut out from the moment the fan jumps the barricade, right? Let's take that out.
Yep.
Rugged Pro Wrestling put on its best show ever.
Yeah.
I know you won't say it because you work a lot of other places, and I'm not going to ask you to. I am going to say that is the best professional wrestling show Iowa has ever had. And I'm not, again, I know, I'm not going to.
Everyone's everyone. There's been a lot of great wrestling in Iowa lately. I think, and it's not a non-arguable statement. That's really it's definitely up there for one of the best shows ever ran in Iowa.
Exactly. And I know, again, like I said, you work a lot of places.
Yeah.
We're not going to put you in that position.
Right.
However, only work here. So fuck everybody. I'm kidding. I love everybody. But that was by far, as a promoter, that is the first time I was able to be at even one of my own shows and truly be able to forget that I had a job.
Yeah.
And just enjoy the show. I'm proud of my work on that show. I'm proud of everybody who's a part of that show. I'm proud of Rugged Pro. I'm proud of where it's going. I'm proud of the Forge. I'm proud of Fowler. All the Forge kids did great on that show. Everybody on that show did great. There's some people that I didn't know, whether they rode up with Ken or whether they rode up with Shaza. It's
one thing that I will say about that was after that incident happened, Ken asked me what happened and how I went about it, and I did not bullshit. I gave him every detail. I've only met him a couple of times, but I think if he would have disagreed with what I did, he would have told me. but he high-fived me and said, "Good job."
Well, and that is the thing too, is when I go back and the next day I'm scared shitless because Ken and I didn't get a chance to talk after that.
Yep.
The building and I didn't get a chance to talk after that.
Yep.
I went to bed scared shitless of how my day was going to go the next day. I didn't think anything. I didn't think I'd have to worry about 3 million combined views. I'm thinking I'm just having to deal with losing my building, having my new heritage champion tell me he's never going to wrestle for me again. That's what I think I'm going to deal with.
Yep.
I wake up to a text from Ken saying, "Hey, man, thank you so much for the opportunity. You have something special there." I wake up from the building saying, "Holy shit, we killed it." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was, as a show, I'm so proud of what we did.
Very proud, as we should be. We very much so. We very much so should be.
Thank you. Yeah, man, it's just again, we made the best out of a bad situation. We have a lot of cool shit coming up.
Without a doubt.
Again, I'm curious to see what happens with you. I mean, I know, I think the fans are curious to see where things go. There's got to be a reason besides, I know we're not going to get into it today, but I know there's got to be a reason besides just what's the best thing to do that you gave Fowler that briefcase. Because I know for a fact you love Fowler, but I know you want that title.
Right.
So I know there's got to be more there. We got Angus. Obviously, he's going to want.
No, there's no doubt in my mind he's coming for my ass.
He's
and
coming
Fowler's too.
That's the thing is when I talked to him on the phone the next day, this is what he told me. He said, "Hey, I got 3 spots on my mantle. 1 for the Rugged Pro Heavyweight Championship, 1 for Justin Fowler's head, and 1 for Jaxon King's." So, hey, man, I mean, you better look out. You better keep an eye out. Man, again, I just want to thank you so much for coming on, dude. I know this is professional wrestling and mental health don't mix well all the time, man. And I know you and I had to have some conversations about this over the week.
Yeah.
Especially with, it sucks when we're used to maybe what, like 10 likes on a tweet?
Right.
When you're getting 1 million views plus on one video, and
very overwhelming when it's the first time.
Exactly.
And not
expected. Go through
expected.
those. And kind of like I told you, man, it's something we had to remind ourselves of, what was it? 1,000 people shitting on you.
Yeah.
Out of 1.6 million.
Yep.
Is only 0.6% of the group, man.
And that just shows how shitty the internet is, because you're gonna see nothing but the negativity.
Exactly, because that's what's gonna get the most reactions. So that's what we're gonna, the algorithm's gonna push to the top. But man, again, I love you, brother. I was gonna have you plug your social, but I know you don't got it right now. Yeah. Guys, be sure to check out Jaxon King. What's your next upcoming booking, man?
I'm off this weekend for WrestleMania, so I'm really excited to watch that. Looks like a phenomenal card both nights. I saw that got announced. April 13th, I will be at Zawa Live in Illinois, and then April 20th, I'll be going to Dreamwave, and then I'll be ending the month at Absolute Pro Wrestling in Steamboat.
Yep. Taking on the Shank.
Yes, sir.
In his hometown show. That should be a lot of fun.
That's gonna be a blast. I've been looking forward to that one for a long time.
That's the thing. Look at this, you unprofessional piece of shit. You fucking pussy. How dare you have a full calendar?
Yeah.
But hey, man. Again, thank you so much for doing this. You didn't have to, so I appreciate you taking the time to come over.
Without a doubt.
Let us knock this thing out. It's always good to have you, brother.
I hope this changes some opinions on some of the negativity, but if it doesn't, that's on them.
And the thing is, it's probably not going to. Yeah. But I think it's important that people get to hear your side, hear your truth, hear my opinion on it, and it's all good, baby. Thank you guys so much for watching. This has been the FoutsCast. I'm Austin Fouts. He's Jaxon King. See you later.